Account Closed by David Mason. Originally published in Fear, July 1960. Narrated by Tom Trussel. Old firm to change hands. Boston, Massachusetts, February 18th. Control of the long-established drug manufacturing firm Barcroft Chemicals was assumed today by Arthur Kelman, a New York financier. Majority interest in the firm had been held in the Barcroft family since its founding in 1845. The late John Barcroft III, president of the firm until his death in September, was the only surviving member of the family. Mr. Kelman said today that he intends to completely reorganize the firm. He stated that complete modernization of methods and policies would result in higher stockholder profits and improved service. While Mr. Kelman, at 32, is still a young man, he has gained a considerable reputation in financial circles. At a meeting of Barcroft investors held today in the company's century-old offices on State Street, complete confidence was expressed in the Kelman management. Present value of the company's assets and plant is not known, however, on the New York Exchange. Memo from Arthur Kelman to Warehouse Department. Re-Standing Orders Number E4, Sebaceous. The books show a standing order under the above name and number, but I cannot find the original order nor the address of the consignee, Sebaceous. Apparently, this order is being shipped out around the 1st of each month and represents nearly $100 worth of biological material. However, there seems to be absolutely no record of any payment. Naturally, I do not want to accuse anyone of dishonesty, but if this account is otherwise correct, this is extreme inefficiency at least. I would like to have the following information by tomorrow morning. 1. The original order or a copy of it, if available. 2. The address of the consignee and any other information about the firm. The name Sebaceous is not in our records. 3. A copy of the shipping order, giving the precise items shipped. A.K. Bookkeeper to shipping room. Pat, the new boss wants to know about the Sebaceous order, and all I could tell him was what old John III told me 20 years ago. Don't ask questions, just ship the stuff. I never even asked what was in it. As far as the books are concerned, it's a steady loss item, like alcohol evaporation. Kelman seems to think somebody's stealing in the warehouse, which is typical of the way he looks at things. Sam Stover. File folder order E4 Sebaceous. The enclosed list of material is to be dispatched on the 1st instant of each month until further notice to the following individual: Dr. Sebaceous, Green Lane, Water Road, Mintonville, Maine. It is to be packed in a strong wooden box with straw and marked "Do not delay, perishable." I would suggest the use of the Fall River steamship packets. I understand their vessels stop at Mintonville. This order is to remain standing until further notice, and is to be carried as a gratis order without charge. It represents the interest on a debt owed to the consignee, and it must not be cancelled. John Barcroft, President, June the 4th, 1859. Order E4, list. 1. Vervain, dried, 6 ounces. 2. Amanita muscaria, dried, 10 ounces. 3. Wing, common bat, 4. 4. Newts, common, alcohol preservative, 6. 5. Gallic acid, pure, powder, 12 ounces. 6. Horse blood, whole, no preservative, 24 pints. 7. Human blood, whole, no preservative, 12 pints. Note, added March 1884. If you have any difficulty obtaining item 7 from a regular supplier, see Dr. Goodwin at Boston General Hospital. On item 3, the new supplier is in Kentucky, address attached. Note, added May 1907. On attached order, item 6 must be replaced at once. Consignee returned same by express. Please follow the shipping list exactly. Cattle blood not satisfactory. Memo from Arthur Kelman to bookkeeper. This file of the original order is utter nonsense, typical of the way business have been conducted in the past. Order E4 is cancelled as of this date. It represents a loss of thousands. Take care of it. A.K. Memo from Arthur Kelman to Personnel Department. The following personnel are to be discharged as of today's date. Samuel Stover, Chief Bookkeeper. Patrick Malloy, Shipping Department. Reason: gross insubordination and deliberate misappropriation of merchandise. These people were given direct orders to cancel a shipment, E4 Sebaceous, and nevertheless have continued to ship the order each month for the past 3 months. These 2 men are not to be rehired under any circumstances. A.K. Memo from Arthur Kelman to Legal Department. Enclosed find a contract of some sort, which I received in today's mail. Some of the terms are rather curious. I'd be interested to learn whether anything else like this ever turned up, whether in any of the old Barcroft records or more recent files. The contract seems to be in rather bad Greek. Although I'm far from expert in the classical languages, I have attached what I imagine is a partial translation. I'm sending this along for your files, primarily as a curiosity, but if you think it can be collected, be sure and let me know. Seriously, though, for the sake of the firm's reputation, I would prefer that you destroy it, or at least keep it under lock and key. I would not like to see some sensationalist get a story like this going, even if the founder of the firm has been dead for 50 years. As soon as this arrived this morning, I started checking. I called the chief of police in this town, Mintonville. It's a place with about 50 or 100 population, I should guess. The chief claimed there was no such address, and that Water Street was the name of a canal of sorts that opened directly into the harbour. Mintonville used to be a fishing village, apparently. Then I tried the local express office, since the order referred to had been shipped by that method. The local agent didn't know, but vaguely remembered that the order was always picked up by somebody. Signed for, too. Per Sebaceous. Somebody was probably getting something for nothing for quite some time, and apparently decided to have one more try at making a touch. I can't imagine where the contract with the original Barcroft signature came from, though. I'm going to check with a detective agency about this. A.K. Memo. Office Manager to Building Superintendent. Please try to send more heat up to Mr. Kelman's office. He has been complaining about the chill in the rooms, and I found it quite cold in there myself this morning. Also, will you check with the night porter about making sure that all the waste baskets are emptied in the executive office wing? It was not done over the weekend or last night. And you might also ask the night porter to be a bit more careful. There are dirty footprints all over the rug in Mr. Kelman's office, and a bad odour. Possibly there's a dead mouse or rat somewhere. Would you check up, please? Memo from Arthur Kelman to Building Superintendent. If you can't find who is entering these offices at night and making trouble, I'll have to arrange to hire someone who can. I don't want to hear any more excuses. Not only were the floors dirty and soaked with water again last night, but the portrait of the firm's founder, in my office, was deliberately and disgustingly defaced. In addition, there is still not enough heat in my office. A.K. Businessman stricken, assailant flees. Was found by a night watchman who had been recently hired because of repeated damage to the offices by unknown night prowlers. The watchman reported having seen a man apparently about to jump from a fourth-floor fire escape. However, when the watchman reached the fourth floor, the prowler was gone. Mr. Kelman was found unconscious at his desk. He had decided to remain at the company offices in order to investigate the recent damage to the rooms. At General Hospital, Mr. Kelman was pronounced dead of heart failure. However, the police department has requested an autopsy because of the unusual circumstances surrounding the death. Police and company officials stated that there were no losses of any kind and that the safes had not been disturbed. And that I, John Barcroft, do therefore agree to fill the conditions of the loan as aforesaid, paying the mage Sebasius in such materials as he may require for his work and for his continued existence in the flesh. And these materials shall be regarded as interest upon the principal of the said loan of magical aid. Also, that if at any time the payment of interest shall come into default, the whole principal shall be due and collectible, consisting of those elements of the soul and body listed above, and may be taken by the mage Sebasius for his own purposes, from myself, my heirs, assignees, or whomever shall be head of the Barcroft Company. Signed, John Barcroft, 1849. Witnessed for the Brotherhood, Azrael Sebasius, Dr. Magicae. Principal collected and account closed. Sebasius facilit. The end. Subscribe for your daily stories or futures past. Before all these stories will be lost in time, like tears in rain.